Hello, students. Welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So, dear students, allow me take you through the thematic concerns or what we call the issues that are raised in The Sins of Fathers by Charles Mungoshi. So, remember, the Sins of the Fathers is the sixth story in the anthology, A Silent Song, and other stories. So basically, we have been looking at the plot analysis of the stories, that is systematically. So from that is when we are done with the sins of fathers, we'll proceed to the next story. That is the truly married woman. That is the seventh story of the anthology, A Silent Song, and other stories. But for now, dear students, kindly focus on the thematic concerns that we have in the sins of fathers. So here are some of the issues that are raised in the story. So how about we discuss them? So the first issue here, dear students, is power dynamics. So throughout the story, there is a recurring theme of power dynamics, particularly between different social groups. For example, the relationship between Mr. Ruafa and Mr. Mzamani is shaped by their different positions of power, with Mr. Ruafa being a former minister and Mr. Mzamani being an MP, that is a member of parliament. Remember, that is in the Matebele land constituency, that is in the northern Matebele land. So there is also a power dynamic between Mr. Ruafa and his son Rondo, with Mr. Ruafa being the dominant figure in the relationship. So we also have the issue of betrayal, dear students. So this issue is present in the story, particularly in the relationship between Mr. Ruafa and his son Rondo. So Mr. Ruafa feels betrayed by his son's decision to marry Selina, who is the daughter of his traditional enemy. Remember, Selina is from the Dembele Maziviti clan. So while that is Mr. Rondo is of the what? Of the Zeru Karunga, Zeru Karunga clan. Yeah. So Mr. Rofa feels betrayed by the fact that Rondo married from a rival clan. Rondo, on the other hand, feels betrayed by his father's actions and his treatment of him. So the next issue, dear students, is family dynamics. So under it, there is parental resentment. That is also that we can also call child discontentment. So family dynamics play a significant role in the story. That is the sense of the fathers, with the relationship between Rondo and his father being a central theme. So the story explores the complexities of this relationship and the impact of past events on the present. That is the impact that some of the past events have on the present events. So Rondo has never been close to his father, as his memories of his past him make him cry. So at 4, his father destroys his guitar. At 8, he thrashes him without finding out what he has done. So Rondo always feels more space with his father-in-law, that is Mr. Mzamani, and would choose him as his father. So he carries many scars that thinking of his father as none other than a shadow he has to live in. So it becomes Rondo cannot think independently, and this reduces him to an object of laughter and ridicule among his friends, that is even at the workplace. So Mr. Ruff has no sympathy for his son, and he despises him vehemently. So he does not bother to answer when asked a question by Rondo, that is his son. So Rondo's mother describes her husband as one bombed out battlefield of scars, whose deepest scar is that he can't not only forgive his enemies, but also his only son and even the wife. So this clearly shows a rift in the family. So at the party, Rondo and Selena feel relaxed. They feel relaxed with their, that is with Rondo's father in law being present. What also happens, dear student, in these stories that we have, that is the issue of race and racial tensions. So the story touches on issues of race and racial tensions, particularly in the relationship between uh, Mr. Quayle and Mr. Ruafa. So remember, we are talking about a white farmer and a black man. So they were involved in the liberation struggle. So remember, at the beginning, I told you that Mr. Ruafa is an ex-minister who is still influential, and also a liberation struggle war veteran. So we have got two races here, that is white and black. So there is a tension between the two men that is due to their different experiences and perspectives. On their way to the birthday party, that is Rondo's birthday party, the trio meets a white woman who needs help. The political youths want to descend on her because she's white. On the other hand, the white woman is already armed with a gun to shoot the blacks. Remember, we are told she had a rifle. So again, from Mr. Mzamane's story about the white who lives in the Manhays mountains, we find out that he sends away the blacks who live there and takes their ancestral land. So it is not something that started happening currently. So there are things that started happening way back. So having alienated the lands from the blacks, the whites are the source of the hatred and envy that fills the Ruafa clan. And Ruafa has his eyes on the white farm in the Rua. So that is about race and racial tensions that we have. So there is also another thematic concern that is important to note, that is the theme of power. So we have the might and the that is in the powerless. So the story again touches on the theme of power and powerless in various ways. For example, Mr. Rofa's past as a minister and his present status as a wealthy farmer highlights the theme of power and privilege. On the other hand, Rondo's mother, that is Mr. Rofa's wife, experience of being physically and emotionally abused by her husband and the neighbor demonstrates powerlessness and vulnerability. So the theme of power and powerlessness is also evident in Mr. Mzamane's relationship with Mr. Ruafa. So as Mr. Mzamane seems to be at the mercy of Mr. Ruafa's anger and resentment. So the issue or the theme of powerlessness is present in the story, and in particular, Rondo's relationship with his father. So Rondo feels powerless in the face and presence of his father. And again, he feels powerless in the face of the father's authority and his inability to stand up to him. So this powerlessness is also evident in Rondo's mother's inability to protect him from his father's anger and abuse. So there is also ethnic tension, or we can also call it negative ethnicity. So Rafa believes in maintaining region boundaries in establishing social and political relations. In his tirade, he laments that he is hurt by the effeminate, spineless sons of the family who marry into families of their enemies, poisoning the pure blood of the Rafa clan. So remember, that is rivalry between the two clans. That is the Zezeru Karunga and the Maziviti, the Mbele clan. So we are told that there has always been a tension between Mr. Rafa and Mr. Mzamane. So a quarrel a misunderstanding, but the episode at the party renders it dramatic. So their speeches turn sour. The two old men are crystal clearly political uh, rivals. So Rafa cannot forgive and forget the effects of the war once the Dembele attacked them, as the pain of the scars remained in him more than the relief of healing. So these adversaries contrast each other in character and demeanor. So the former is the villain in his very nature, and the latter is a gentleman. So there is evident greed in the arch nemesis, that is Ruafa, for he strives to maintain the status quo by acquiring uh, material power through underhand uh, deals. So what is important here is or what is important to note here, dear students, is the what is the issue of the past that still brings the negative ethnicity between the two. That is the two clans. So apart from that, we are also told about we also told about remember the white woman, who is saved by Mr. Mzamani when the youths wanted to wanted to lynch her simply because she's a white and all that. So Rofa again, remember Rofa really supported. He really supported the idea of lynching the white woman, because there is also a farm that he has in mind that he must acquire. So there is also the theme of death, dear students. So the fear of death also hangs in Selina's mind. She fears losing Rondo as well. So mysterious deaths rock the family. And according to Gaston, remember Gaston is Rondo's friend and also a colleague. We know that a political hand is involved. He asks Rondo do you know what your father does? So Selina's mother also had died, and Mr. Mzamane married again. But to the detriment of his daughter, she alludes to the invitation to her father. So assassinations could be the ex-minister, that is the ex-minister's trade, Mr. Rafa, as he happens to control the political group dubbed the Chimurenga, so which also narrowly spares the life of uh, some other people in the story. So we also have that is the issue of family relationships. So the story delves into the complexities of family relationships, particularly between fathers and sons. So Rondo's relationship with his father is strained and marked by conflict, with Rondo feeling misunderstood and undervalued by his father. Similarly, Mr. Rafa's relationship with his own father and his disappointment in his son's lack of ambition and dreams drive highlights the theme of family expectations and disappointments. So there is also the theme of that is identity. So remember, the story touches on the theme of identity and how it is shaped by societal expectations, cultural traditions, and personal experiences. So Rondo, for instance, struggles to find his place and identity in a society that expects him to conform to certain roles and expectations. So while Mr. Rafa's obsession with preserving the purity of his family's bloodline reflects the importance of cultural and ancestral identity. So remember, Rondo is also an nonconformist because he didn't conform to what the father wanted. That is, remember, he married Selina, and Selina is from a rival clan. So Rondo also suffers low self-esteem through the way his father treats him. So Mr. Rafa loathes and persistently frustrates his son, that is Rondo. So his first disappointment, if you can remember, is when his father breaks his guitar and throws it into the fire when he is only 4. So Rafa does not approve or even attend his son's uh, wedding. So he purportedly leaves town on state business for 2 weeks. So there is also another thematic concept that we have, that is vengeance. So remember the author. The author of Sins of Fathers is Charles Mungoshi. So Charles Mungoshi expresses the theme of vengeance in the story's beginning through the flash, that is the flashback as Rondo comes to his father with a gun. So from the death of his 2 children and how his father has been treating him, he believes that he has a hand in the deaths, and therefore he is here to revenge. So Rafa causes the accident as a form of revenge against the traitors, or that is against the traitors. That is how it is indicated in the story. So we are also told that Rondo is not happy with what his father says about his marrying, that is Selena, who comes uh, from a clan that he considers enemy clan. So there is also the theme of forgiveness and redemption. So the sins of the fathers also touches on the themes of forgiveness and redemption, as Rondo is faced with the decision to either forgive his father for his past mistakes or hold onto his resentment. Similarly, Mr. Roffa is also faced with the opportunity to redeem himself and make amends for his past actions. So we also have power and privilege. Remember earlier on we talked about power, the theme of power and powerlessness. So under power and privilege, we learn that the sins of the fathers uh, talks about inequality. It talks about privilege and inequality, particularly in relation to race and class. So there is also that is the issue of betrayal and identity. So the story also deals with these are 2 issues, particularly in the relationship between Rondo and his father. So Rondo struggles with his loyalty to his father and his sense of duty to his own family and values, uh, while his father grapples with his own sense of betrayal and disappointment in his son. So there is also the theme of love and friendship. So remember the incident that is between Rondo's mother and Selena, that is during the morning night. So we are told that Rondo's mother takes Selena's head during the night and puts it on her. Uh, so she also called her a great woman. So friendship is also evident between the 2 women, that is Selena and her mother-in-law. Uh, Selena, who is the daughter of Zamani, stays with uh, Rondo, even though Ruafa disapproves of their marriage. So Rondo, Mr. Ruafa says that his son uh, became a traitor, that is by marrying Selena. So a lot of there is also friendship that is seen between Mr. Mzamane and Rondo, who is the son in law. Then there is also the issue of love that we can illustrate. That is by looking at the scene or the part where Rondo lets his head rest against Selena's belly and his skull nudging the underside of her. So that also tells us something about the relationship between the couples. So there is also the theme of change. So the story portrays the ways in which change can be difficult and unsettling, as seen is Rondo's struggle to come to terms with his father's actions and the repercussions of his own choices. So the theme of change is also seen in the way that Mr. Mzamane adapts to the changing political and social landscape of the country. So that marks the end of that is the thematic concerns that we have in the sins of fathers by Charles Mungoshi. So until next time, bye.